Okay, everyone, welcome to the New York WSO General Membership Meeting. It's November 17th, 7 p.m. We're going to go over a lot of things that have gone on this year. Some of it may be a little bit of a recap from our last general membership meeting and the first little quarter of the year, and other things are going to be new. So let's dive right into it. We have many board members on the call right now, and a few couldn't make it. But our board is myself, James McDermott. I'm the Adirondack weightlifting or Adirondack region regional rep and also the WSO board president. We've got Frank Ford, Central New York regional rep, Joe Rodriguez from the Hudson Valley regional rep, Chris Smith from Long Island, Julia Falamas and Erica Queso. Julia's from New York City and Erica is from Western New York, and they're all regional reps. And then we have our athlete reps, Alyssa Garrison, Brian DeGeneiro, and Michelle Woogan. So that is your WSO board. Congratulations goes out to Alyssa Garrison, who just got engaged at a Taylor Swift concert. Alyssa's a big fan of Taylor Swift, to Owen Putnam, who is a New York WSO member and a lifter in our organization. So congratulations to the two of them. I'm sure that made the concert all the more special. And who knows, maybe we'll reach out to Taylor Swift, get her to come to the New York WSO, sing the national anthem at the New York State Championships. Wouldn't that be something? We'll send her an email. Also going on here in the WSO for our board members, Brian DeGeneiro earned the credential of national coach this year, and I earned the credential of national technical official. So it's pretty cool that a lot of the members of our board are still trying to level up, and I know others are working on other credentials. Brian, do you want to come off mute and just give us some insight into, well, how did it feel when you got that notice and that you accomplished this, I'm sure, big goal of yours?
Yeah, thank you. It just felt nice to kind of get that achievement after however many years I've been coaching at this in this sport. I think 12 years I've been coaching. So it's nice to have coached a couple of lifters to hit that minimum qualifying level to level up as a coach.
Yeah, it's a huge achievement. So congratulations again. And I know for the technical officials, that was it's a lot of work that needs to be done for both of these credentials. And I'd just like to encourage members that might be listening to this, whether you're a level one coach, a local referee, keep trying to climb up the ranks. Put in that work, put in that time. It does take a little bit. It's not something you can really do overnight. You have to get years under your belt, but it is something to strive for, and you'll get better along the way and you'll help a lot of people as well. So definitely encourage people to continue to try to level up. Maybe if you're a level one, sign up for a level two coaching course. If you're a coach right now who's a level two, reach out to a national coach. Say, hey, got any advice for me? Same thing with officiating. Get some time in the chair. If you go to the Arnold or AO2, ask if you can volunteer and just kind of get that experience, because that's what's going to really help us in the long run a little bit on growing our organization and just helping out USAW as a whole. So everybody should hopefully be having some goals on their list that they're trying to accomplish and work towards. So congrats again, Brian. Other accomplishments for WSO members. Joe Triolo was recently named and elected to the USA Weightlifting Board of Directors. He is going to be taking on the position of coach and technical director. This is a 4-year term that begins on January 1st of next year. And Joe has been working a long time on the officiating side. He's one of the top technical officials in the world, really. Does anyone have any more information on this? Joe Rodriguez, do you have anything to say about Joe taking on this role?
Yeah, it's great. It's great that he got it. Certainly well deserving of it. Like you said, been around a long time, one of the top TOs in the world. They've brought him literally to Olympics. Uh, pretty sure. Definitely world. A lot of world championships. But yeah, excellent. Really nice to see.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that we have so many members of our WSO that are achieving big things. And we now have two members of our WSO that are on the USA Weightlifting Board of Directors. Sarah Soto is also on the board. So that's awesome. New York taking over. Another big achievement from a WSO member and a former board member, Jerry Dunn was recently inducted into the Hall of Fame for our organization as a significant contributor. This happened on Sunday, October 29th at the New York State Championships this year. And what was written on the plaque is what I have here. I'll read through it, but this is to some extent a definition as well on like what is a significant contributor? Who's the person that's going to receive this award? And Jerry Dunn definitely exemplifies what I'm about to read here. It's a person who, throughout the decades, has been an example of a high standard of excellence, integrity, and leadership that coaches and technical officials can strive to achieve. It's someone who has a willingness to share knowledge, donate their time in the gym or at local, national, or international events, and has benefited countless of athletes in the pursuit of their dreams on the biggest competition platforms. Their wisdom that they've passed on has produced high performance not only in the sport, but in the life of those athletes and the others around them as well. And the actions that they've taken throughout their entire career have helped to shape the sport into what we enjoy today. I think we can all agree that Jerry Dunn, that defines him, and what we know of him. And I know that I've learned quite a bit from Jerry. He's become a great friend. If I have, some questions or advice I need something on from a governance standpoint or officiating standpoint, Jerry's one of those people that I call. And I know everyone on this call has experienced Jerry in one way or another, and you've, learned from him. You've benefited from his generosity, whether it just be his time or maybe he lent you equipment. Who knows what it is. But would anyone like to share any stories or any thoughts on Jerry? I know Brian knows him very well. Joe, you know him very well. Julia, Chris, feel free to come off mute.
Yeah, I've known Jerry for 20 years, actually, since high school when he was the pole vault coach for Malloy High School. So that was actually my first introduction with him as a coach or as an athlete, was way back in my track and field career.
Yeah, Jerry wears many hats. He coaches in a lot of different sports. He's the vice president of a canoe and kayaking association as well. So he definitely is all over affecting people outside of our sport. And I believe he's in multiple Hall of Fames. I'm not sure what the other Hall of Fames that he's in are, but this is just another one he's adding to the list. Joe, do you have anything to say about Jerry?
Yeah, well, you certainly covered a lot already, but like Brian said, I've known him for years. Very generous, great guy. You already posted the YouTube video when he was actually presented with the award, and I mentioned, how he came out to help and not when 9/11 happened immediately. Um, so just all, like you said, that's almost the definition of significant contributor, but a great person. It's really nice to see him be honored.
Definitely. Jerry is now the gold standard of a significant contributor. If you're going to be a volunteer or coach, doing all those things, he's certainly someone you can look to as an example. Would anyone else like to say something about Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry's a great guy. He came into the sport 2003. It's a good membership number. It's like 1-3. It's a pretty low membership number. Jerry comes to all the events, national events, local events, state events. Uh, he's a wonderful man. Board member, uh, meet director. He's done a wonderful job over since 2003, since he came into the sport. Got to give it to Jerry. He's a hell of a lifter. Competes constantly. He probably competes. I'm not exaggerating. Probably 7, 8, 9 times a year. He does a great job. He loves weightlifting, and we need more people like Jerry.
Definitely. Jerry holds multiple state and state meet records. I think he might have set a few at the last state championships. And that is no joke. He definitely competes a lot. He does all the Masters meets and quite a few local meets. And Jerry's not opposed to driving clear across the state to help someone. And that's also a pretty cool thing. You know, if you need to put on a referee clinic or if you need an official at your meet, he's definitely one of the guys to reach out to. If he's got a free weekend, he'll come out and help you or help you find someone that can help you. Anyone else?
Yeah, so I haven't known Jerry quite as long as Brian or Joe, but since the very early stages of my coaching career, he's always been very encouraging and very motivating. And that I think is really important to encourage new and developing coaches in this field that, you know, there is value in what we're contributing and that we should continue working and developing young athletes. So that was really wonderful to have somebody that had a history in the sport from the very early stages, right? When I first met him at Lost Battalion, encouraging me along this path, which was really great.
Definitely. No doubt. Many other people have experienced that with Jerry. Erica, Frank, do you have anything to say? I'm not sure how well you guys know Jerry, if you do.
I didn't know Jerry as well as a lot of you did, but he was always just a super nice person. I mean, he is a super nice person to be around, really inspiring in the sport, has a lot of, good to offer everyone.
Definitely. I love this picture of Jerry. Look at that smile.
Yeah, and I don't want to step on all the nice things everybody else has said because I don't know Jerry quite as well as everyone else. But every time I've dealt with him, he's a wealth of knowledge, really willing to help. Great guy, so super deserving of being in the Hall of Fame as far as I'm concerned.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, and congratulations again, Jerry Dunn, Hall of Fame. And for anyone wondering, we're gonna take steps to continue to look into who else should be in the Hall of Fame. It's definitely not something that we want to fall to the wayside, and it's definitely a concern to keep it relevant and to make sure that we're highlighting it and showing appreciation for some of these members that have been around for a very, very long time and who have contributed greatly, not only in our local organization, but beyond it. Moving on, we're just going to do a little overview of metrics for the WSO, how we've been doing with membership, clubs, coaching courses. Just so I know, you guys that are on the chat, maybe someone who can see it, have more people joined, and also, are there any questions in the chat?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, got it. Cool. Cool. All right. So general metrics, active memberships as of today, we have 895 members, and we're going to come back and talk about that number again here soon on the next slide. But that's what I found today when I went to go send out the mass email about this meeting. It's gone up a little bit since April. We had 854 members in April at our last general membership meeting time. As far as clubs, we've got 39 clubs, and that number has been consistent all year. So that's pretty cool to see. For weightlifting meets, as of today, we have had 28 meets happen in the WSO, and this number includes 2 that are still on the calendar that have yet to happen. Julia and Chris, those are your meets that are still coming up. This number is the exact same as 2023. So unless another meet gets sanctioned between now and then and happens, looks like we're going to tie 2023 with the number of meets that have been held in our organization. 4 of them happened in the 80K, 3 in Central New York, 6 in the Hudson Valley, 6 in New York City, 5 in Long Island, and 4 in Western New York. So that's a pretty good spread as well across the entire state on opportunities for athletes to compete within. We had 828 athlete results recorded to bars. And I did a little bit of math here. Hopefully I did it right. Maybe someone double check. But this comes out to 4,968 lifting attempts at a New York competition. I just thought that was pretty cool. It's a lot of snatches and clean and jerks. And then who knows what the total kilo number is on that too. That would be a cool number to know, but that would take forever to calculate. Another time. For coaching courses, we had 7 level 1 courses, 1 level 2 happened throughout the year as of today. One went down this weekend, I believe, down in New York City. And as far as happening across the state, again, it's a pretty even spread. One in the Adirondacks, one in central New York, 2 in the Hudson Valley, 1 in New York City, 2 in Long Island, and 1 in Western New York. That is down from 2023. We had 10 courses last year, and we only had 8 this year. 86 new coaches were achieved here. 79 of them are level 1s and 7 of them level 2. So hopefully we'll see more courses and more people continuing to pursue coaching or at least advance their learning through a USAW course in 2025. Now, these numbers were sent to us from USA Weightlifting. This isn't something that I found specifically in bars, at least these first 3 sections here. And if you recall, I said we were going to talk about that membership number again. When USAW sent us this number, 1,043, that was back in October. And as of today, it's down 895. The membership throughout the year does fluctuate quite a bit. There are a lot of people that have 1-month memberships or sign up for one reason or another and then discontinue their membership. So we do see a differing number all throughout the year. Typically, I notice the differences when I go to send out the newsletter because it tells me how many people I'm sending that newsletter out to, and that number is always different. We are up in membership, though, from year to year. In 2023, we had 845 members, and in 2022, we had 703 members. And USAW is factoring in to all of these numbers that the people on the list have a valid membership, but it's okay, and they may have some action required on their account. So it may be someone who has a current membership, but they need to fill out and complete their safe sport training or re-up their coaching membership. So maybe they are a coach, but their coaching membership has lapsed and they need to take some action to fix that. So they do include those people as well in their account. For membership stats, 61.5% of our membership is male and 38.5% is female. And we have a little breakdown of the age groups as well, which is pretty cool and interesting to look at. We have 549 members in the 18 to 35-year-old range, 420 in the 36 to 65-year-old range. 58 members are 18 years old or younger, and 16 members are older or 66 years or older. So pretty cool to know the age breakdown there. For coaches, we have, as of October 2024, when they sent this report to me, we have 386 coaches. 284 of them are a level 1, 85 are a level 2, 16 are a national level coach, and then we have 1 senior international coach. Now, I know in reality, this number is also a little different. There is more than likely more than 1 senior international coach floating around there in New York, probably a couple extra national level, and then we can probably beef up some of those other, levels. But the thing is, this is active memberships. So when USAW sends a report, they're only counting active memberships. So if we have a senior international coach that has not done anything in a couple of years and they've not been a member for a little bit, officially, they're not going to pop up on this report. For technical officials, this was not sent by USAW, these numbers. This was just me taking an accounting off of our own website. We have 6 IWF Category 1 officials, 3 IWF Category 2, 13 national technical officials, and about 150 to 160 local WSO referees. Now, just some numbers here for national events. We had quite a few athletes compete across the board at USAW sanctioned events. For the National University Championships back last winter, we had 8 athletes and they brought home 2 medals. So those are bronze medals. At the North American Open Series 1, we had 58 athletes compete, earning 11 gold medals, 10 silver medals, and 11 bronze medals. And Murderer Crow's barbell took 4th place, and Empire Weightlifting took 7th place in the team competition at the Arnold this year. So that's pretty cool to see. At the National Masters Championships, 22 athletes competed, earning 15 gold medals, 12 silver, and 7 bronze medals. We had 6 national champions, and the best overall female lifter was Stella Ladeo. For National Championships Week, and this is the new stuff right here. We already previously went over those other competitions back in April, but at National Championships Week, we had 49 athletes compete, and 10 of them were in the youth championships. 7 competed as a junior, 21 competed in the U23/25 championships. We had 1 athlete compete in the adaptive category, and 9 athletes competed in the senior category. Collectively, they earned 10 gold medals, 19 silver medals, and 13 bronze medals. So that's pretty darn good at the national championships at all levels. And we did have a national champion at the senior level, Michael Moe, competing for Murder Crows in the 67 kilo bodyweight class. And Michael Moe was the first person in the senior category to win a national title since 2011. That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Michael Moe and Murder Crows, and everyone else winning all of these medals. And then finally here at the North American Open Series 2, 37 athletes competed, earning 10 gold medals, 3 silver medals, 13 bronze medals, and Murder Crows placed 3rd in the team competition, earning 77 points. So they're doing pretty good at all these international team competitions. No data yet or information for the upcoming AO finals. That will be reported on in the upcoming April 2025 general membership meeting. So you'll have to wait a little bit to get a full report on that meet. Although I will be putting out soon a shout out to all the athletes that are going. We'll do a podcast recapping or focusing on the event, on what everyone should look for, and again, give like a verbal shout out to all of those athletes. I think the late registration might still be going on, or maybe it's passed by now and I can get a full roster soon. But these are our results as an organization on the national level. So I think overall, the New York WSO is doing pretty good in that regard. Let me peek over here. Before I move on to the financial stuff, any comments, anything anyone want to say or questions on all of these metrics? Throwing out a lot of numbers and data here. Okay. Let's talk money. We've got Scrooge McDuck back again, always making that look a lot of fun, even though it wouldn't actually work. Our last financial report came in on October 11th of this year, and these numbers are as of January 1st, so we have a full accounting pretty much of the year. Our opening balance back in January was $15,639.81. The national championships this year took in $17,965.99. Other revenues that we had coming in from donations, such as sponsorships from the New York State Championships, $1,550. And then the budget that we were given from USAW, or the funds, I should say, that we were given at the beginning of the year was $5,000. And if you remember at our last general membership meeting and also posted in our meeting minutes back in the spring, USAW has changed the way our organization is funded. We have moved on from a rebate model where we get a little bit of money per member, and we are now working with a budget model where at the beginning of the year, USAW gives us a lump sum instead of quarterly rebates. One of the things that they wanted us to do was to spend the rebate money that we had from previous years where we were working off of a rebate model. And we have accomplished that. We spent quite a bit of money all throughout the year on scholarships for coaches, scholarships for youth and juniors going to the national championships, and then, of course, the New York State Championships, which was a pretty expensive meet this year. And the reason that was is because we had to buy a lot of things from scratch, such as the electronic system, additional wood for the platforms, additional equipment. So all of that factored in. And also we had to account for more food and housing for volunteers. So we definitely accomplished that goal of spending the money that USAW wanted us to spend. We'll still be given our typical annual amount. So we are expecting to receive that $5,000 on January 1st on the books. But we've also been requested by USAW to submit a budget of our expected expenses and income. So how much money do we expect to make at the 2025 New York State Championships? And also, how much money do we expect to spend on other things, such as our scholarship initiatives and other things that might pop up, such as equipment that might be needed or enhancements we want to make to the state championships itself. So we will be doing that project and submitting that to USAW soon, and we'll report on that when there's more data there. But that is our finance report. So at the beginning of the year, we had a bunch of goals for the WSO, and I'm happy to report that we've accomplished all of them. That's pretty cool. Our scholarship goals, whether that be coaching scholarships or the youth and junior scholarship, were all accomplished, and those will be ongoing initiatives. We'll continue to do those year after year as long as we're able. Our podcast, we started that, and I believe we're up to 13 or 14 episodes now, either recapping events, talking about coaching or officiating stuff, and interviewing members. And Sarasota and I plan to continue to do that. We actually have an episode coming up this next week here, I think on Tuesday, where we're going to interview board members Erica Queso and Michelle Wugin. And Michelle's also on the screen here. And one of the coolest photos from the 2023 New York State Championships. By the way, the vast majority of the photos that you're going to see on the presentation here were taken by Julie Rodriguez. So definitely check out jmjphotos.net for all of your weightlifting photo needs and follow her on Instagram. Let's see here. The I Love New York goal was accomplished. They were able to promote the New York State Championships. I don't have any metrics on that. I'm not sure if they would either. I will ask them on, did we get any spectators or anyone come simply because we were promoted in the I Love New York website? I do know that Travel Binghamton, who is an organization that's associated with I Love New York, did do quite a bit to promote the event. They put out a press release based on information that I gave them in the tri-state area. I never got a chance to see it because I mean they don't know when the news will put things out like that. But it is cool that we have them helping to promote the event and promoting weightlifting a little bit too. The goal of revising the records was accomplished. So if you go to the New York WSO website, nywso.com, you can click on the state records and you will see that there are new PDFs. They've all been formatted to be a uniform template. And the New York State Championships also has its own template. So that goal was accomplished. The online store is up finally, and that is ongoing. We actually had our first sale come in not too long ago, shortly after I posted it. And I have more to say on the store here in the next slide, or one of them coming up. For the awards, Outstanding Athlete and Coach of the Year, which was an addition, we revised a lot on that, and that goal was accomplished. Thank you to Joe Rodriguez and Frank Ford for helping out with a lot of that legwork. That was a very time-consuming project. And of course, our goal to make the state championships a two-platform event was accomplished, and we will continue to work on that. For 2025, really, the main thing that we're going to be working on is continue our ongoing initiatives. So the ones that are never really going to go away that you see in the columns above. I do have a slight renovation for the New York WSO website based on feedback from board members and members on how to make it a little more streamlined. And I'm going to add some things in there that will be hopefully beneficial for those competing at the state championships, such as a section on frequently asked questions where you can go, and also I can link people to it, who are all asking the same thing. Just as an example, will there be a live stream? Yes. Where will it be hosted? The New York Weightlifting YouTube channel. That's an example of something that will be in the frequently asked questions section of our website. And we're also going to, of course, continue to work on elevating the New York State Championships. That's a forever goal. That one's not going away. We'll hold on making it a three platform event just at the moment. We'll focus on 2. For scholarships, our coaching scholarships, we do plan on participating in this program offered by USA Weightlifting again. The tentative schedule would be January 1st to January 31st. I will await USAW's guidance on that. They typically send out an email in December to all the WSOs asking if we want to participate and what our time frame of participation will be. And if I can, I would like to keep it at the same schedule that we had last year, which is use the month of January to get all the applications in, review them in February, and then as a board vote on who we're going to award the scholarships to. This past year, we had 10 individuals from all over the state earn the scholarship, and I'm not sure if we made note of this in the past, but we had initially committed to 4 scholarships from the New York WSO and 4 USAW would cover. And we had a couple extra people that, we wanted to help out, and USAW accommodated us in that way, and we were able to get all 10 of our applicants covered. But one more shout out to the 2024 scholarship winners: Amanda Can, Haley Masonette, Jean Legary, Jenny Orden, Jessica Rodriguez, Joelle von Bischofshausen, Lucy Geringer, Siobhan Sedney, Stacy Stadler, and Tanzira Rashid. Apologies if I said anyone's name incorrectly. I always have to pause when I get to Joelle's name. I'm sure Joe does that too. Take a breath first. Youth and junior scholarships. We are definitely going to be pursuing that again. The Youth and Junior Scholarship, if you've never heard of it before, this is to provide financial assistance to youth and junior athletes in our organization who are attending the USA Weightlifting National Championships Week. The application will go live on January 1st, even though right now the qualification quote period is still open, since that takes place whenever the registration, or whenever they announce the event. I think they have announced the event. I should double check it, but we'll put the link up there in January, since right now I don't think anyone is thinking about that meet at the moment. I could be wrong. And the deadline will still be follow the national calendar. So whenever the deadline to qualify for national youth or junior championships will be, that will be the deadline to submit the application. Congratulations again to our scholarship winners from this past year: Aurora Garland, Devin Craig Swartz, Faith Wyand, Landon Tarazona, Nathan Cohen, Nia Black, Oliver Garland, Reagan Fromer, Robert Rode, Sadie Serbus, Trevor Whedon, and Viviana Smith. These were 12 athletes, which is 3 more athletes that we had since 2023. So hopefully we'll see this number continue to grow. We want to get these young athletes out to the national championships and qualifying for even bigger meets throughout that or beyond that. And then, of course, staying in the sport in the long term and developing into high-level senior athletes. Definitely keep an eye on these names here for the future. Back to our online store, like I said, it has launched. If you go to nywso.com, there's a big store tab right there on the top header. If you click that, it'll take you to a new website, and that website is spreadshirt.com. That's where the store is hosted. You can get t-shirts, you can get mugs, you can get stuff for your dog. There's all kinds of things on there. I think there's a few bags as well. Just a way that members can rep the New York WSO if they would like. And also in the future, we will put up there the region logos. That's something that will roll out in 2025 for sure. T-shirts for all the regions, maybe a mug or something, and you can collect all the mugs. I know that that'll be something that I want to do personally because I'm into things like that, collecting mugs. The price of the products is the wholesale pricing. So the New York WSO makes no profit off of this store. Spreadshirt had a option where you can just make it a non-profit store and members can just go on there, buy a cheaper than normal shirt or cheaper than normal items than what you typically see out there in the weightlifting and fitness worlds. And that's just our way of just providing more for the members. Again, if they want to rep the brand and soon the regions. WSO Awards, congratulations one more time to our 2023 Outstanding Athletes and our 2023 Coach of the Year. The work will soon begin for the 2024 awards that we will announce in 2025. If this seems a little bit clunky because it says 2023, we announce the awards for the previous year in the current year. So 2024 awards will be announced in 2025. We have here on the screen Marcy Baldinger, our junior female outstanding athlete, Connor Lacey, junior male, Stella Ladeo, our Masters female, Robert Santoro, Masters male, Lucy Geringer, our senior female, and Dean Atsuka, our senior male. Those are our 2023 outstanding athletes. And then our coach of the year was Kurt Roderick of Murder of Crows. So congratulations again to all of them. And now we have a New York State Championships recap. All the things that went down at the New York State Championships. Got a lot of numbers to look through here, a lot of interesting things. The event was held, as we all know, September 28th and September 29th, Saturday and a Sunday, at the Doubletree by Hilton Binghamton in Binghamton, New York. 180 athletes competed and over 200 had registered. We were adding people off the wait list as athletes were withdrawing from the event. And I believe I had somewhere between 12 to 15 athletes. I tried to look through my emails to count everybody, and those emails are just a disaster. There's just so many messages that I wasn't really able to figure that out. But we did sell out the meet at 200. And then with people withdrawing, that would add on another 15 or so athletes that were added in. And then with people actually showing up to the meet and lifting, it came out to be 180. So pretty cool there. A lot of participation. And then people, of course, not being able to make it for one reason or another. Of that 180, 89 of them were women who lifted on Saturday, 17 in the youth division, 4 in the junior, 30 masters, and 38 seniors. On Sunday, 91 men lifted, 15 in the youth division, 4 in the juniors, 27 masters, and 45 senior. I believe this is the first year that we've had more men participating than women, which that has not been the case in recent history at the national or the New York State Championships or even many local meets as well. And it's pretty cool that it's even across the board. You know, there were a couple extra seniors, a few less masters for the men, but it looks pretty even as far as participation between men and women. So that's pretty cool. Certainly made planning the event easier. For the records, 141 New York WSO records were broken at the state meet. 29 of those records were state records, and 112 were state meet records. And if you're unsure of the difference between both of those, a state record can be set at any meet throughout the year, and a state meet record can only be broken at the state championships. So you only have one shot a year to break one of those. And if we're talking records overall, 43 additional state records were broken throughout the year. So this is not the state championships. This is at all the other competitions, 43 of them. So we had in 2024, 72 state records broken. which is pretty awesome. I mean, year after year, we typically get over 100 state meet records broken. And having 72 state records broken throughout the year is a pretty big deal. I think from what we've seen on the national level of athletes participating and earning medals, and also with just breaking our own organizational records, the level of the lifting is definitely rising. And that makes sense because we have 80 some odd new coaches coming on as level ones. So more people are pursuing coaching. And then our current coaches, such as Brian, and I know Ryan Hansen from Warwick, Amy and Bryant from Griffin, and John from Empire State or Empire Weightlifting, all recently leveled up as national coaches. So not only are the coaches elevating their game, but it also seems that athletes are doing the same, and those two things go hand in hand for sure. So there are many good things happening across the board here in New York State. A little more data now on the state championships. We've got a great photo of our best team right there, men and women, Griffin Strength Barbell. But for the medals, 140 medals were earned at the state championships. 80 of them were gold medals, 33 silver medals, and 27 bronze medals. We had our best lifters. For the youth women, Ariana Oliveri. For junior women, Jenna Shannon. There's always one typo that comes up in this thing, and I always find it when I'm reading it out loud. That should say Jenna Shannon, not Jana Shannon. Sorry, Jenna. My apologies. Lucille Murphy was our Masters Women's Best Lifter. Shannon Cook was our Senior Women's Best Lifter. For the men's category, youth, Caden Vanderhoof. Junior, Trevor Whedon. Masters, Robert Santoro. And for the senior, Mark Marquez. And like I already said, our best team was Griffin Strength Barbell, adding more titles to their trophy case. And hopefully they've got the room on their wall to put up all these banners. I need to go there someday and see how full the wall is of banners and awards and stuff, but it's pretty full. So congratulations to everybody again. Documents have been posted for the event. In bars, of course, all of the lifting results were submitted shortly after the meet. And on our website, you can see a document that will show you those same results. And it will also show you the placements, who was first, second, third, fourth, fifth, etc., for each weight class and division. The state champions listing was also updated on our website, along with, of course, the state and state meet records. And in the blog, you can find a breakdown of all of the state and state meet records that were broken at the New York State Championships. One of the big things I've been trying to do is every time a record of any sort has been broken is to also highlight who previously held the record and what the old record was. I just think it's good to give acknowledgement to someone who was holding it before. And it's good to see what the difference that the record was broken. Was it a kilo? Was it 10 kilos? Was the record standing for 20 years or 6 months? And maybe to give that person who lost the record an opportunity to see that they lost it and possibly pursue it again. So all of that information can be found if you search through the blog on one of the most recent articles as of right now. There's also a write-up on the volunteers who helped out. We had way more volunteers this year, so that was fantastic. A meet of this magnitude, and any meet really, lives and dies by the volunteers. And we had people turn up this year, and it's greatly appreciated. I can't go through all of it, and I'm not going to read the whole article on this meeting. It's been posted in the newsletter, and it's living on our website. So I definitely recommend people go and check that out. If you find any errors on any of these documents, contact me. You can email me right there, james.amcd@yahoo.com, and I will make corrections. And if you don't know how to get a hold of me at some point, you can always contact one of the other WSO reps or DM the New York Weightlifting Instagram page. Some way, somehow, let me know. When I was compiling all this data, making a state championships listing, putting the results in bars, doing all the records, the write-ups, it is quite a bit of data. It's a lot of numbers. So I'm it's always good to get as many eyes as possible to look over that stuff. So if there is an issue, no problem, let me know. I will fix it. And thank you again to the volunteers. There should be 10 slides thanking the volunteers. They can never be thanked enough. Moving wood, you can see kind of like a little start to finish here. We have Karen Lewis and Jeff Scott moving wood off of Karen's trailer there, and those wood pieces would later become parts of warm-up and competition platforms. We have our technical officials working the events. Here's one of our most prestigious technical officials who is wearing a blue suit at the event, helping out. And then at the end, getting it all into a storage closet. Myself, Joe Rodriguez, and Karen Lewis, who you see there in the first photo, had to squeeze everything in that 5x10 storage unit in Binghamton, New York. It is awesome that we have the ability now to house this equipment in Binghamton, just 10 minutes away from the hotel. That's going to make life a lot easier next year on just transporting the stuff right down the road. For the last several years, Joe Rodriguez has had to take all of the wood from Poughkeepsie and drive it out to Binghamton and then drive it back. And then there's so much more that goes into just driving it back and forth. You have to load the truck and then you have to unload the truck. And Joe, how many pieces of plywood is this again? Was it 100?
Okay, there you go. Sorry, I had to unmute. Let me think. It was not 100. But it was over 50 for sure. 40, so yeah, we're approaching there. About 80, close to 90 sheets. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it.
Okay, yeah, close to 90 sheets, enough to be chest height on me. I'm only 5'5", so that's a pretty tall stack of wood that you're on right there. Plus the podium. The podium is right behind you. That podium that everyone was standing on was built by Dan Boland, who is a national technical official in the New York WSO and who comes out every year to help. So there's a lot goes into the meet, and that's just a lot of equipment, and we are appreciative of all the people that helped to run this event. It exceeded all expectations, and we're very happy with it, and we're going to continue to grow it. Before I move on, any thoughts, questions, concerns, anything related to the state championships or anything that we've gone over so far? I'm not sure who's on the call here. Is it just the board? I can't see the chat, so I'm not 100% sure. Someone want to let me know?
Yeah, it's just us.
Oh, just us? Okay. Oh, I am seeing Beth is here. Okay,
And
wait.
Beth. And Beth.
Okay. Yep, and Beth. Beth is the owner or dog mother of Marlin, who is right there in the center photo. Marlin was working quite a few sessions throughout state championships. Moving on. So we unfortunately recently had a member of the New York WSO pass away, Tommy Tedesco, nicknamed Thunder. He passed away on November 3rd of this year, so very, very recently. He was an athlete and a coach for the Titan Weightlifting Association down in Long Island. And I have a bunch of stats here on his lifting that were provided by Titan. And on our website, there is a write-up that was also provided by Titan, and they posted it on their Instagram page with just more information on Tommy and his career. But he was 40 years in the sport of weightlifting and powerlifting, and during that time accomplished quite a bit. He was a Metropolitan LWC junior champion. And for those who may not know, before we were the New York WSO, we were the Metropolitan LWC. He was a 9-time Empire State Games medalist, and he lifted for Team USA at the 1994 World Masters Weightlifting Championships and World Masters Games, taking silver in one and bronze in the other. His best lifts were a 120 kilo snatch, 155 kilo clean and jerk, 290-pound bench press, 575-pound back squat, and a 620-pound deadlift. And one quote that really stood out for me on the write-up that we have on our website and also from Titan was this quote right here. Tommy lives in the hearts and the barbells of those whom he imparted his lifting expertise unto, the next generation of Titan, and he will be missed. And I've heard him say this at meets. Maybe in a second here, someone can let me know what it means. But he would yell "Shuta Sabu-san" in the warm-up room and out on the competition platform. You can see him here competing at the 2023 New York State Championships, snatching 56 kilos. My interactions with Tommy were limited to the state championships. I believe the first time I met him was at the Larry Mintz Memorial down in Long Island in 2023, and then again later at the New York State Championships. And he was one of the people who stuck around at the end of the event when it was all said and done. He lifted earlier in the day, and he waited all day to help us clean up. And of course, he was coaching here and there throughout the day, but he waited much longer than he needed to. If you remember, those meets were lasting a little bit longer, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday. And he stuck around to help move plates and wood and then most likely drive back to Long Island. But so that's how I remember him, as someone who was very generous with his time and willing to help out and go the extra mile. I know some members of the board right now would like to say a few words about Tommy and their interactions with him. Joe Rod, let's start with you. Anything you want to say about Tommy?
Yeah, it was kind of shocking to hear about it. I mean, he wasn't, at least in my eyes, wasn't that old. So definitely a huge loss. You covered a lot in what you were saying. You know, he's super generous. He had reached out to me for last year ahead of the meet and said, "Hey, I know it's a lot of work and I want to help out." And so I thought that was so cool of him to do. So like you said, he purposely hung around all that extra time just to make sure we had help. And that says a lot about the guy. But I've met him over many years, you know, pretty much at meets, and always see him as such a great guy. It's a shame. My heart goes out to his family.
Definitely. Thank you, Joe. Chris, do you have anything to say about Tommy?
Yeah, I've known Tommy since, I don't know, about 1991. Strong guy, very nice man, very helpful. Used to train here out of Long Island and Uniondale with Stan Bailey and Richie Siebert and all those guys. Started lifting in the mid '80s before me, and competed at the Empire. I probably competed at almost every Empire State game, and medaled there numerous times. Would stay around, help all the time. Just a good guy. Just a really good guy. Tommy works out in the gym upstairs. In our gym, we're down in the basement, and I just go up there and talk to him all the time. And I know he was complaining about a hip problem. That's why he didn't compete this year at the state meet. And I know he was pretty down about his hip bothering him, but it was a total shock when he passed away. I don't think an autopsy was done, and really don't know why. He was always a very health conscious person, always very lean, working out. I'll give you an example. Like a couple of years ago, when he turned 65, he clean and jerked 65 kilos. I think something like 65 times. It was a ridiculous. As many years as old he was, he put that much work in on the barbell. So, and he would do it every year. As he got older, he lifted a little, more reps. He was just a good man, and real shock. This is a real shock to the community out here on Long Island. We all knew him for many, many, many years. Very sad. Very sad.
Yeah.
It's terrible. 69-year-old guy. My God. May
Yeah.
God bless
And
him.
these days, 69 years old is young, especially for someone, like you said, who is very health conscious and strong and focusing on moving around and not being a sedentary person, but
Yeah.
it's just another example of life happens when you least expect it. So our thoughts and prayers definitely go out to his family and his friends. Is there anyone else that knew him that would like to say anything? I'm not sure everyone's relationship. Okay. Let me get back here to my slide. And that is it. That is the presentation for this meeting. I don't know if there are any members on at the moment. I think we're all board members. Do you guys have any questions, comments, something you want to say in general at this point? Okay. Then thank you. Oh, Joe, did you have something? I saw you came up off mute.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just gonna say thanks to the other board members, throughout the year, all the work. Appreciate working with everyone.
Definitely, definitely. We got a lot done this year, and we're gonna get a lot done next year. I hope everybody has a good holiday. Eat a lot of food on Thanksgiving. Weightlifters have to do that. Have a good Christmas season, a happy New Year, if we don't see it before then, and put it on your date. The next general membership meeting will tentatively take place Sunday, April 27th at 7 p.m. That's later than when we would normally do it, but Easter and other holidays have kind of moved around within the month. So this date could change. I don't know yet. We'll see. So thank you everybody for coming. If you don't have any further comments, that is the presentation. Have a good night. This will be posted to YouTube tomorrow.
Night, everybody.
Later, Julia.
Bye, everyone.
Well-
Thanks, James.
Hi,
Later, Erica. Later, Joe. Later, Frank. Later, Chris.